Hello everyone, today I'm back with another XFCE customization video. So before we start, let me talk about something that one of you guys had asked me whether that this panel can be moved to the bottom part just like in Windows and Windows. So you can do that very easily. You can go to panel preference, turn off lock panel and then just drag and drop this to the bottom part. So after that, just lock back the panel and then close it and it will just work like this. So you can do this, but for the time being, let me just get back to the default configuration that we have, that is the top panel mode. So let's get back to panel preference, lock the panel and close. So let us continue with the theming.
But before we start, let me tell you something that in this video I basically have done a bit of experimenting with what I can do by editing the configuration files of gtk.css and then PyCon. So instead of following whatever I have done, you can try implementing the theming ideas that I have done in this video if you like whatever I have done. So yeah, carry on watching.
Let's go to the Firefox for getting a GTK theme. So here is Firefox and let us go and search for the GTK themes. And here are the available options. Click on GTK 3 or 4 themes. And today let us go for the Juno GTK theme. So go there and click on download. So there are some options that they have. Let's try and get this one. Let's go for Pale Night. Now open the download that folder and here are the two things that we have. Let us take out the theme, copy it and go to home, then head over to and then create a new folder. If you don't have that, that is the .themes folder. Also create another folder, that is the .icons folder. These will be enough. Let's go there and paste it inside .themes. Now let's go to settings, appearance, and here we have Juno Pale Night. This is the theme which we are going to use and it looks pretty nice. Now these look very weird, so for changing that you need to head over to Window Manager tweaks, probably Window Manager, yeah, and inside that you also have these options, that is the Juno Pale Night. Click on that and that should solve the problem in the other portions. And for these the icon that they have used, let us see if they are nice or not. Yeah, they are nice, so we can go with the icons they have used. So let us see if they have listed the icon here or not, which they have not done. Not a problem, let us go and search for GTK icons. Here we have full icon themes. Now from here let us go and get the Tela icons. Click on download and here we have the Tela node. Node should look good. Click on download and that's it, the download is done. Just open the folders, open Tela node and it is very simple. You just need to head over to the home folder and go to .icons and extract the folders here. So extract Tela node and node dark. That's it, done. Now from appearance, let us see if the icon is available already. No, we need to restart appearance. Let's head over to appearance and head over to icon and there we have the dark mode icons. Let's go and see how they look. Let's see the file manager. Yeah, they look nice. So I have a very peculiar plan with this, is that let us install PyCon. So sudo apt install PyCon. So instead of the Tela icons that I was using, so I thought of using something else, which I'm going to show you in a minute. That is the purple edition of the Tela icons. So let's go to appearance and let's use the Juno Pale Night. And for icons, let's use Tela Purple Dark. And see, yeah, nice. Now head over to Window Manager and I'm using Tela Circle. So that was Tela, instead I got the Tela Circle. So which looks a little bit different. You have circular icons instead of those rectangular icons. Now let us go to the web browser and let us get the PyCon config. So you can go here and go to raw, control A, control C. Let's head over to mousepad. Oops, mousepad. Let's close this, paste it here, control S, save it in the desktop. Now name it as pycom.conf. That is it. Done. Now let's open terminal and head over to desktop so it becomes easier for us to open desktop. Yeah, and now let's start pycom. We can't start pycom because there is already another compositor that is running, so you can just head over to window manager tweaks to compositor and disable compositing. Now let's start pycom. Doesn't start. Let us go and choose the config from pycom.conf. Still it doesn't start. Let us turn on experimental backends, and yes, it starts. Okay, let's open this and let's do some editing here. Now basically what we are going to do is we need to first change the opacity. So let's go and search for transparent windows. So I guess they will be there. We have transparent windows. Now you can change the frame opacity to be at 0.7. It's currently at 0.7, so the frame opacity is at 0.7. You can change it, and I will basically try to match it with everything. Let's change the active opacity to 0.9 and let's see how it works. This is using 0.9. Nice. Let us change it further down to 0.8. This is using 0.8. Now let's head over to preferences. So change the color scheme to something else. Let's go for Tango. There is solarized light, solarized dark. Yes, solarized dark looks a little bit better. Or you can also go for Oblivion, which also looks a little bit better. It actually looks better with Oblivion. The things are much more visible. Also go with Kate, Cobalt, or the classic. Let us stick to classic. I guess it will work out perfectly. Yeah, it does. And the color of the font actually looks really bad over here. So first let us try to edit the color of the fonts. So this is the color. Let us see what is there in the base color. Okay, so if we go for the text color, I guess the text color matches with the one that it is currently using. So instead of this, we can just go for pure white, which is basically this. So let's go for pure white and let's enter it here. For foreground, let us use pure white, and there is selection colors. This is the foreground color, and save. Now let us get back to toner. Do we have any colors here? Let us see. Okay, let us now change GTK3. So here we have the foreground color. Let's change it to white. Okay, let us check this out. This is the selected color. Okay, no problem. There we have the intensive foreground color. Let's check this out, what kind of color it is. Okay, let us keep it as it is there. And there are also several foreground colors that they have done, so we can also replace them. There we have another text color and two more foreground colors, another text color. Save. Let's see how things are working out. Now let me just check it out whether things are working out properly or not. So there is also a GTK dark option, which we are also going to change. Okay, let us just see how much of the change it has happened. So head over to settings, appearance, let's change it to a different theme, and then I can change back to Juno Pale Night. Was there any changes? The top bar does appear a lot brighter than it was previously, so there might be a bit of change that is appearing there. Yeah, after a bit of changing, I finally could manage to bring this white colors to their normal position so that I can increase the amount of transparency in the theme and they don't look bad. So yeah, a bit of work had to be done, but yeah, finally okay. So the problem here is that for unfocused foreground colors, it is currently using this one. So let us go and check it out on Firefox. Let's search for the theme that they're currently using. Go to the color picker, enter the value. Okay, this is the color. So basically in all the documents we need to also replace this with something that is bright but not as bright. So we can go for this one perhaps. This should be good. So in all documents, replace all, and let's get back here. Let's change the theme and see how it works. Yeah, looks a little bit better than the previous one. So as of now, we can stay happy with the one that we have changed here with the focused problem that we have changed. So we can be happy with that, right? Let's go to the color scheme. Let's change it to none so that it uses this thing. Okay. Oh, we forgot to save it. So that's why the change was not seen. So save it. Let's change the theme, change it back to normal. And I guess it is using this color, this one. Yes, it is. It is. So yeah, that's it. Let's close this. Now let us just minimize this and close all the other documents that are open. Now from here you can change the add some amount of background blurring. Now we don't need too much of blur, so we can just use the normal blur that is there. So just head over to background blur and turn it back to true. And now we can change the blur strength to, it's currently 5. Let's see what's the output coming in the terminal. There's no output. Let us increase the blur background blur strength to 10. Okay, let's just go to preferences and increase go to appearance and use transparent background. And yes, there is a very subtle amount of blur that is happening. So yeah, it is working. A very, very subtle amount of blur. So let's try tweaking with all these options to increase the blurring. Now we can do one thing, is that I don't know why the blur is not coming over here. Might be because of this. So we can try commenting this out and saving it, and there you go, you get the blur even here. So yeah, and now with a bit of tweaking I did find out how to do the blurring, but the performance is extremely bad. Let us change the size to something like 10, which will probably reduce the amount of blurring that is there. And let us see what else we can go do with this one. So let's use a different backend. Perhaps that will help us out. Let us see if we can use GLX backend. Now let us see the performance. Yeah, it is much better now. So now this is having this weird thing that is as you can see. So might be because of that they had turned off the blurring for this. So if you want, you can turn off the blurring. Sorry, what happened? It's good. Now let's turn this down a little bit by, for example, let's set it to 5. Should be better. Yeah, it's much better, but there is some weird problem with this thing. So for that, I guess turning that back on will prevent the problem from happening. But you can also go and explore some other text editors from there. For example, let us go. Okay, it's having some problem. Let us just close this. So sudo apt install gedit. Let's see if we are having that problem with gedit or not for the time being. Let's keep this open and gedit. Before that, let us start this gedit. And yeah, even with gedit we are having the same problem. And I guess I have an answer to this problem. This is because it's currently using that shadow from the GTK theme, right? So that might be a problem. But here is also the shadow is enabled, so we can turn it back to false and let us see if it works. Okay, PyCom is crashing every time, and turning off shadow also doesn't work. So that is a kind of problem that you need to figure out. So basically what you can do is just remove all these type of applications from here by, you know, putting that back in its place. What did we do there? Yeah, this one back here in the place, which you can do, and that will solve the problem. But for this case I'm not doing that. Let me just copy this, copy, and let us close this, reopen, and head back to the same location. Okay, we need a comma here, save it. Again, PyCom crashed. Let us restart PyCom. Okay, there is a syntax error in line 205. Okay, comment this back out and restart PyCom, and as you can see, it solves that problem that we are having, that weird background blur problem. But for the time being, I would like to re-enable the background blur for these applications too, because it actually looks good. But if there is any possible fix available for that, then y'all can share that with me. Okay, save this. Okay, that does the work. Now we need some cool wallpapers in order to match the theme, right? So head over to Firefox, and since I'm using this inside a virtual machine, there is a kind of performance drop that you are able to see. So for the time being, I'm just closing PyCom and starting the web browser so as to show you everything. But in your system, it will not cause any problem because I have used the same thing on my main PC. It doesn't cause any performance issues, so you should be fine with that. I'm literally using this inside a virtual machine. So just head over to Pexels, and we need to search something that is based on bright purple. So let's see what are the things that are available with purple. We need to remember that we need some bright colors for this so that they actually are visible from the dark background. Purple gradient. Okay, this is not bright, but this actually looks really good, so we can get this. So open the folder, right click and set as wallpaper. There you go. Also, just for, we can also get this one. This also looks good, so you can just even get back here, right click, set as wallpaper, and let us now see which one matches the most. We can also get this. This one is nice. This one is also nice. Okay, too many options. Let us close this. Now it is time that we turn back the blur. Close the window. Turn back on. The blur is surprisingly low in amount. Let us increase the amount of blur so we can change the size to something like it was previously, that is 20. So we can set it to 20 and that looks really good. Check this out. Now we can do one more thing, is that we can just, so I finally could get rid of the shadows from the settings editor of XFCE. So if you head over to the settings editor, let me just turn off the compositing because it gets extremely slow inside the VM. So if you go to the XFCE settings editor, and there you have the xfwm settings, and if you straight head over to the shadow section, just turn them off to 0 and you should not be having any problem. So if I turn back the shadow opacity to 50, for example, let me turn this back off and let's go and turn back. Okay, so it's not coming back because I have also done another bit of editing inside the gtk.css. I've added this portion. Basically, I've added this portion, this one, these two parts. I did a bit of search on the internet and added this sections, which basically allow me to remove the shadows. So you can do that and restart the GTK applications and it should just work fine. So that's all. Now let me just close all these and let us try increasing this size. Let us see if we have any options for increasing the size. Side pane, the icon size can be increased. 32 pixels. Oops, does nothing. Let's check it out again. Oh, sorry. So 24, 32. Whoops, no. 32 is good. Looks nice. Let us now head over to downloads and see which wallpaper works the best. This is nice. Let us try something else. So if I turn off backend GLX, apparently for me it works in a better manner. Turning on backend GLX causes more problem. This is absolutely bad. So basically the first choice was good enough. So we can just stick to this one. Okay, let me just minimize this. Now changing the blur method to dual kawase now gives a very much better performance than the previous one. Even inside a virtual machine with very less amount of RAM available, it provides a much decent performance. So in your bare metal, it will be providing much better performance. So I made some more changes in this and I basically added some shadows, because without the shadows the windows don't look very nice. So I added some amount of shadows. You can change the opacity of the shadows if you like, so you can change them back to 0.75 if you want a lesser amount of shadows, or if you want dark shadows you can also stick to this one. So if I just change it to like 0.6 and reload, it also works. So basically you can tweak with your system and use the things that are best suited for you. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.